Hello, so here I am, Anthony here, author of Pearls of Juggling. So today, this is a very simple model for integrating juggling and movement and making it much more interesting in our improvisations and then ultimately in our performances, whether it's to ourselves or to an audience, right? A performance can also be focused time that I dedicate to really playing and immersing myself in my practice. Anyway, so it's so simple that it's mind-blowing. There are 4 aspects to juggling and movement, and we can swap from each, between them to mix it up and just make it much more interesting. And I use this in my workshops, and it's written in the book, of course. And here it is. We can juggle and move at the same time. So we're juggling and moving. It's all going together. And then we can move without juggling, so the props are stopped in our hands, and like perhaps we're moving like this with the and then we catch them all and we keep moving a little bit before we start again, right? And the third one is juggling without moving. So we're juggling and moving around, and then we're like just moving without juggling, and then we stop in some sort of position, and then we're just juggling. Obviously our hands are moving, but we're not moving with the whole body, right? And the very last one, the 4th one, which is one of the most important ones that people don't generally think about at all, is we're neither moving nor we're juggling. So we're actually completely stopped. And on stage, we in practice, this stopping part seems to us to be much longer than it actually is. On stage, for example, you might feel like you've stopped for a long time and it's barely come to a stop. As far as the audience is concerned, we need to highlight the movement through our immobility as well. And there's a great chapter in Pearls of Juggling, to stop or not to stop. This is the question. And so as in music could be even drum and bass or techno, but classical music as well. You have these suspensions, which really bring everything to life, and it restitutes to the audience and to yourself all the energy that you're moving about in. So try this out, and try out with your students. Juggling and movement, that could be anything. It could be with 1 ball, it could be 3 balls, 4 balls, whatever. Least balls, the easier it is, of course, right? In the beginning. Juggling and movement, and you can all shuffle the order, of course, the juggling and movement, and then we find a position which isn't just standing upright, which is a bit more interesting perhaps. So we have the weight on one side, and then we shift the weight from the other side and then just move without the props, and then we find ourselves in another position, just some juggling without moving the body, and then we stop. Don't make these all the same length, break it up a little bit. Otherwise it becomes very predictable and boring. If this has been useful, if you try it out, let me know.